Hi all, just thought I'd do a live today just on some spicy venison salami that I decided to whip up this weekend. So this is the rest of the venison that I had left over from the dry aging, so I've got the last leg in there that we'll cut up later on today. But yeah, so today, like I said, spicy venison salami. So what I've got is about 5.96 kilos of meat. So 4 kilos venison, 2 kilos pork. And then fat-wise, I've got, what have I got? About 1.7 kilos of pork fat. So if you can see in there, I've used the 8 to 12 mil grinding plate. So you've got really nice big chunks of, of fat and meat in there, as you can see, which is what you want when you've got your salami. A lot of people though will actually just hand cut, mince half the fat, then hand cut the rest of it. Makes it either, each their own. Now, some lovely spices that we've got there, as you can see. So we've got a lot of chili going in. So I've got garlic powder, peppercorns, chili flake, black pepper, chili powder, salt, dextrose, and the cure. So as you can see in there, she's nice and strong. So that's all our dry ingredients in there, and I'm about to sneeze due to all the pepper that we've got in there. Excuse me. Culture. So there's our culture that we've got there. So that's about how much popped in there now? It's about 5 grams culture, and some excuse me, the pepper, and some Drew Valley red wine. So Drew Wines, they're actually a Tassie winery just around the corner in Tea Tree in Tassie. So we've got about a cup, a bit over a cup of Drew wine. So we'll pop that in there as well. Lovely. So in total, we're going to have roughly about 7.5, nearly 8 kilos worth of mixture. Now the fun part. So the meat's been in the fridge, in the cabinet behind me. I think I had it about 2 degrees. The key is obviously you want to try and keep the meat as cold as possible. That's one of the keys when you're making a salami. Just have it nice and cold, nearly near frozen. Your fingers will get frostbite pretty much when you're working it through there. It's, for those people that've got the machine mixers, makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, you're definitely working through by hand. So the key when you're doing it, you want to make sure that you're getting a good mix of your meat and fat ratio, and also your spices throughout there. A lot of people have hand mixers, your mixing machines that'll help do it all, or your KitchenAids that have the dough handle, and I've seen people use those before. But yeah, look, do it by hand. How's everyone's weekend anyway? We're at Sunday here in good old Tassie. It's just fly by. It's starting to come together now, but it's still got a fair way to go. If you're on, pop in the let me know in the chat where you're from. I notice we've got a good following from all over the place. Fingers already feel like they've got frostbite. Except for those that are just joining, what we're making today is venison. So 4 kilos venison, 2 kilos pork, excuse me, and 1.7 kilos of pork fat. A good salami's got, a good 30% fat ratio. It's starting to come together. Mixture in the colour. as you can see, it's sort of starting to come together, but the way you want it is you want it so if you were to use your hand, it'd just stick there, not a problem. Now when I say spicy, this one can be really, really spicy. I've upped the chili content and the pepper. So for this one, I've popped in there. How much chili we pop in this one? So the 110 grams of black pepper, just in the just normal black pepper. Then we've got chili flakes, 40 grams of chili flakes. About another 15 grams of cayenne pepper. A lot of people that have had the salami in the past go, oh, I need more chili. So this is for you, Colin. One of my friends, Colin, who said we'll make some salami together with, loves his chili. Slowly starting to come together. But like I said, you want to make sure that you're really, really working it. You know, if you don't, if it's not worked enough, you'll find that it doesn't bind well enough when it's stuffed into the casings, which then can cause to things like hollowing. So your mixture won't stick together, and then it'll start to get nice hollows throughout the salami, which will just, in the end, you have to chuck your salami most of the time if you start to get the hollowing in there. Some people, say, oh, look, it's okay. Just vacuum seal it, let it equalise and come together. But I think you find once it's hollow, you're going to have issues with it. See, it's gone from a nice red to, I don't know how well you can see that, it's starting to stick more now, to a nice sort of a darker browner colour. Obviously that's a lot of the flavours, the pepper that we've got going through it, the red wine. But what will happen is, once we're finished mixing, then it gets stuffed into the cases, for those that don't want to stay for the whole video. So it'll get stuffed into the cases. Once it's in the cases, then we've got to let the culture do its work. So that's where obviously all your salamis, most of them are fermented. So you're stuffing in the cases, then fermented. For this particular culture I've got, the fermentation period is for 72 hours, and at 22 degrees with really, really high humidity. So what I've done at the moment is I've started to whack the cabinet behind me up, just to get it ready for when these are done, and I can pop them in. Get the blood now. If we've got any Tassies on here, like I said, Drew Wines, just local vineyard in Tea Tree. Really, really nice fella, and some really stunning wine, actually. Like I said, that one's a nice, what did we get there, a Cab Sauvignon, and that was a really, really lovely wine. So I actually used some of that in the venison sausages I made. Venison and red wine just go together, just a match made in heaven, really. That's the only part about bloody making salami. That's the mixing. Apologies if people are commenting, I can't actually see it at the moment, so I don't know what's going on. As you can see, we're starting to get there slowly. You're getting the look that you want, so you've started get a real sticky mixture, which is what you want. You want that. So normally it should take roughly, you know, a good 5 odd minutes to get the mixture fully mixed. You can hear a rattling. That's the my sausage stuffer next to me. Ah, you love to rewind. So I see you're from Tassie as well, Deborah. Yeah, I only met I met Robert about a month ago now. Very lovely fella. Yes. Yeah, showed me around his winery. It's yeah, lovely. So they've got obviously Drew wines, and then they've got Third Child. That also, you know, Drew and his family is wine. But no, yeah, lovely, lovely wine and lovely family. Sure that obviously we've got that flavour right through there, all the seasonings mixed. So actually, I've actually made this one before, but with not as much chilli, and used the peppercorns, and it actually, the whole peppercorns in there gives it a really nice flavour as well. You know, when you're slicing, you know, your thin slices, you'll get a little bit of a peppercorn in there. Oh, there we go. Starting to get there. Doesn't make too much of an exciting video. But for those that are sort of relatively new to the page, the cabinets that I've got behind me are Cleaver salami cabinets. So we've got the Piglet, which is the one that I've just boosted the temperature up into to do the fermenting in. So the Piglet is it's specifically designed cabinet just to, you know, for your salami making needs, really. So in that one, it'll hold roughly about 25 kilos of meat. And the one behind me here is the Bullock, and that one's actually specially designed for dry aging. And so in there, that's where we've had the venison legs and backstrap that have been dry aging. And again, and that cabinet is specially designed just for dry aging. So they're relatively newer designs, the smaller ones, the Piglet range, or the small cabinets there. But they're, yeah, look, definitely well worth the money, because it's just a one-stop cabinet. Obviously, once you've made your salami, pop it in there to ferment. Then after that, you know, drop the temperature down for the standard curing and drying process, and it's just, yeah, perfect. You know, all in one, all year round, so you're not going to have to worry about, you know, is the temp going to be fine where I am, things like that. Just makes it a lot easier. All right, I think we're there finally. All right, so as you can see, if you can see that, we've got it in there. Very nice, sticky mixture now. Lovely. So what we'll do is stuff it into our sausage stuffer, and then we'll start to fill them. So this sausage stuffer, I'll show you in just one moment. You can see that. It's a 5 litre. Can't actually remember where I got it from now. But yeah, 5 litre, so it won't fit all we've got in there. But what we need to make sure is when you stuff it in your sausage maker, or your sausage stuffer I should say, you want to try and get it in as tight as you can. You know, you don't want air bubbles in there. Lovely. Lucky the hand wouldn't take the head off. Alright. Lovely. I won't fill it all the way up. I'll just quickly see where it is, and that way we can get some made quickly, and then I'll take the rest off there. But yeah, there we go. So 5 litre. Take these off now. Alright. So what I'm using is collagen casings. As you see here, so soak in water about 5 minutes prior to use. So these are round edge collagen casings. Now the reason I'm using round edge is they're the preferred casings for the cleaver cabinets. So they just work well with that type of cabinet. All right, so we'll get this out of the way. So for those that can see. Back front, that's why it was working a bit weirdly. Alright. Get our casing out. I won't do one today for the camera for everyone, but you get the gist. So we've got our lovely casings. So as you can see, they're just one casing, round edge. You can use natural casings as well, but you know, like I said, the collagen casings are the preferred ones for the cleaver cabinets. So you know, as they say, go with what the manufacturer suggests. All right. So when you're filling, I don't know if we can see that at the moment. You just want to make sure that you've got a really nice, you know, firm but not too firm grip on it. That way it's filling, you know, without many air pockets in there. Because like I said, you don't want your air pockets in your salami. So what we'll do is we'll get this one filled up. There we go. As you can see, one salami. So what we'll do is, as you can see, it's got a few air pockets in it, but we'll try and obviously grab it with your thumb and fingers and try and work its way down. A little prick. Get the air out. There we go. That way you get, you know, try and work it as best you can without popping it. A lot of people just use their thumb and finger and try and press the meat down in there. All right, get a bit of twine. So to tie it off, instead of, you know, to get a really, really nice tight tie on it. So where you've got your salami, I'll just tie off and I'll just show you on the bottom actually. See, you can see that. I'll give it another tie. Get that out. So the way to tie it off, so if you picture that as your salami, you've got your, obviously the body and the neck. So just on the shoulder, if you just pinch it on the shoulder and when you're tying it off with your string, tie it off, pinch it through there, and that way you get a really nice tight seal on your salami. So I'll show you there. As you can see, so I've tied it off there, and we've got a really, really sort of nice tight seal there, so less air pockets in there for it. So I'll just give that. So that's, you know, no sort of special knots in there really. Done. So that's that, just the tying of it off. So the next step is, when you're using collagen casings, the best thing to do with it is netting. So we've got the little rocket, or the netting applicator. And you've got your netting twine. So this is number 16 netting twine, because we're using 65 mil or 65 mil round collagen casings. So we'll just measure for that there. Wait my scissors going. And then it's like putting your sock on, maybe. Okay. So that way you've got your netting on your tubing. Slide that in there. Pulling your netting out. Oh, I'll swap that out on the end there. So we go, one netted salami. So I'll do that through, so out of the batch that I've got there, so I'll just obviously hook that. You first of all weigh it to get your initial weight, because what you want to do is, when you're making your salami, is you want to make sure that you're using, it's all about the moisture loss, which will make it shelf stable. So we'll just prick some holes and make it the air bubbles out. Yeah, so you want to make it, the goal is moisture loss, so it's a shelf stable sort of product. So the end goal is, we're looking for about 40 to 45% weight loss. With these ones, I found that the last lots that I've made have taken roughly about 5 weeks to be fully with that sort of weight loss. So what I'll do now is I'll tie it up, hook it up, and then we'll pop it in to start its fermentation process. So that'll be for 72 hours at 22 degrees and at 90% humidity. You want a really high humid go for it in there, because that way you don't want to dry it out too quick. But yeah, so look, that's a real quick basic overview just on the salami making. So I'll do that now another 9 times to finish off the rest of the batch there. But yeah, so what else do we have on the go? We've got today's been busy. We've obviously minced up all that today, made some pickled onions. Then we'll be cutting up the dry aged venison later on today. That's a 28 days. So it's been a long haul with that one in the lovely book. But yeah, both of those cabinets, when I'm not dry aging, that cabinet as well can be used for salami making. It's got a built-in humidifier in there as well, just like this one. This cabinet mainly uses the type of the meat in there. Can you pop the names of your machines or one relative to beginners? Yeah, I certainly can. Certainly can do that for you, Deborah. So on my blog, I've got different things on there, but definitely I'll go through and I'll pop in the different names for the machines that I'm using there. Because like I said, obviously, if you're using collagen casing, the best thing to use is is the netting, because it helps keep it tight. You have when the meat or the moisture starts to leave the salami, your sausage, obviously it's going to start to shrink. And when it shrinks, you want to make sure that your casings are staying nice and tight on there, and that's when your compression netting it'll keep that casing very nice and tight on your salami there, so it keeps it pressing in together, and you'll stop it hollowing it, having any sort of air pockets in there, and so on. But yeah, I'll pop all the names of them up there. The cabinets as well, like I said, they're Cleaver salumi cabinets. I'll link them in there as well, but I'll pop them there at the end of the live, all the different tools used, and that way you can certainly go for gold with it. But look, thank you all for watching today. It's been a long sort of fiddly one, but look, thanks for tuning in. As always, see you all.